Yes, yes, yes,
Sandeep
yes.
sir, should I repeat the question? Should I?
See,
He is asking that
yes, yes, yes. You can read.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
read.
how ambient temperature plays a critical role in deciding the placing temperature of mass concrete.
It plays a major role. Ambient temperature is the major, I would say, contributor to the temperature of the concrete. That is the reason we are talking of night concrete, and that is the reason we are talking to avoid concrete between the peak afternoon. If the ambient temperature is more, we're talking of the ambient temperature, suppose in Ahmedabad in June, July, it reaches to 43 to 44 degrees. When the ambient temperature is 44 degrees, how do you get a concrete with 32 degrees? Because ambient temperature heats up everything. It heats up the machineries, it heats up the pipeline, it heats up the drum of the transit mixer, it heats up everything. वहीं से तो temperature आ रहा है. Ambient temperature, that is the reason we are talking of night concreting. That is the reason we are talking of concreting in the late evening or doing concreting in the early evening. Or you will find that majority of the mass concrete pours, normally they are planned in the winters. In specific cases, only when the site forces them to do it in summer, we go for mass concrete in summer, but we try to do it in winter normally. But it's not possible every time. So ambient temperature is very important. And even in the later stage, when concrete is finished, ambient temperature will only absorb the temperature from the surface layer. अगर एम्बिएंट टेम्परेचर 44 और सरफेस लेयर को आपने इंसुलेट नहीं किया, ये एम्बिएंट टेम्परेचर कम है आपका और सरफेस को आपने इंसुलेट नहीं किया, तो द एम्बिएंट टेम्परेचर विल टेक हीट फ्रॉम द सरफेस of the concrete. That is the reason we are insulating the surface so that the temperature of the surface doesn't fall below certain limit. The ambient temperature is very important. Yes, sir.
His second question was, is prototype mock-up is mandatory prior to approve the temperature controlled concrete?
See, in concrete, nothing is mandatory. If you go by IS code, if you read even 10262, it talks of guidelines. It talks of guidelines. We make a mistake of making IS code as a rule book. IS codes are not rule book. They are our guidelines. If someone is talking of making a mock-up, it is not mandatory. But before applying it to a 5,000 cubic meter concrete, if you do it in a 1 or 2 cubic meter of a concrete mock-up, you will understand how your concrete is going to behave. In practically, we'll know what is happening there. Simulations doing on the laptop, simulations doing by some softwares or by something, they all help you. But the actual how the concrete is going to behave when you're casting the concrete, that mock-up will only tell you. And again, still that mock-up is not accurate because you're making it only 1 meter by 1 meter, 1 meter, or at the most 2 meter by 2 meter.
Exactly.
So the mock-up is एक ट्रेलर है, वो आपको आइडिया आ जाता है इस पिक्चर में क्या होने वाला है, तो वो एग्जैक्टली नहीं बताएगा आपको मॉकअप भी तो होने वाला क्या है वहाँ पे. That is very concrete is the product का सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ही वो है, उसके होने के बाद पता चलता है इस कंक्रीट में क्या हो रहा है. हनीकॉम्बिंग भी बाद में आता है, क्यूब फेलियर भी बाद में आता है, सब कुछ everything comes on later on. Nothing comes before. That is where the trials and mix designing is important. Yes, sir. Anyone else?
Yes, sir.
Yes.